Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. I'm Betsy McDaniel. It's Heritage Week in the Lowcountry, but of course there's still a lot to cover, so let's get started with our headlines. Less than 48 hours after the Beaufort Air Show, the commanding officer of MCAS Beaufort was relieved of his duties and transferred to an unspecified job at the Paris Island Recruit Depot. Colonel Mark Bartnum is a former combat pilot and had been in command at the base for nearly 2 years. A statement from the regional command says he's out because of a loss of trust and confidence in his ability to command, a broad term that could cover just about any transgression. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Eubanks will serve as acting commander until one is formally appointed. Maybe the most impacted area of our economy by the Trump administration's new tariff policies is our shrimp industry, which has applauded tariffs on imported shrimp. Local shrimpers are also okay with the pause in the tariffs because it means other countries are going to have to negotiate their way into our stores and restaurants. The Southern Shrimping Alliance says Asian shrimp producers use forced labor and ban antibiotics to keep shrimp prices artificially low. The spring shrimp season begins in the Lowcountry later this month, which averages about $2 million in value when it comes to dockside. Tariff increases might raise the price of shrimp for us, but could also help save the industry in the Lowcountry. There were about 100 trawlers in operation 30 years ago. Now there are only about 15. Believe it or not, the Murdaugh saga is still ongoing, and though we haven't had an update in a while, we just got 2 updates on 2 different trials. One trial will be cut short, and one trial might not start until late summer. In federal court, banker Russell Laffitte is taking a plea deal to avoid a second trial on bank fraud charges for helping Murdaugh steal millions from his clients. Laffitte was convicted back in 2022 of 6 financial crimes, including bank and wire fraud, and spent 13 months in federal prison. Later, an appeals court threw out the verdict after finding that Judge Richard Gergel improperly replaced a juror during deliberations. Instead of retrying the case, the prosecutors and Laffitte's lawyers have decided that Laffitte will plead guilty to bank fraud charges and serve 5 years in prison, getting credit for the 13 months he has already served. The retrial was supposed to begin next month. Laffitte still faces fraud charges. And meanwhile, the state Supreme Court has granted state prosecutors a 120-day extension to file their response to Murdaugh's appeal of his murder convictions, delaying any movement in the appeal until early August. Murdaugh's lawyers filed a 121-page appeal back in December, claiming jury tampering by former Colleton County Court Clerk Becky Hill and improper admission of evidence. The Attorney General's office says it needs more time to sift through the appeal, the more than 6,000 pages of testimony from the trial, and their office has been overloaded with work on recent death penalty appeals. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And after a quick break, we're going to get all the latest about the heritage, so don't go away.